Hello, young scholars. So we've been talking about multiplying decimals. We've talked about the area model. We've talked about the place value model. The place value model using some kind of symbols to represent each digit, each number. So like we make 6 dots to represent 6. Or if we were talking about 6/10, we make 6 dots in the tens place to represent 6/10. Then we talked about what I call the Mr. L approach, which is the same as the place value. Instead, you just use the numbers instead of using the tenths, the dots. And then we're going to talk about now the algorithm way, the way that hopefully you can understand after learning all the other ways. You can understand what the algorithm way is standing for, what it represents. So the algorithm way is pretty simple and it's honestly the quickest way out there. So imagine we had 1 5/10 times 2. Now the first step number 1, is to multiply this problem like it's a regular multiplication problem. Don't even worry about the decimal. Don't even worry about what? The decimal. Don't even worry about it. So I'm not going to worry about it. So 1.5, 1 5/10 times 2. I'm not worried about the decimal because I said not to. 2 times 5 is what? 10. Put the 0 like a regular multiplication, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is what? 2 plus the 1 that I carried is what? 3. So now I have this answer of 30, but this is not my answer. Now it's time for me to worry about the decimal. What you're going to do is you're going to count how many numbers are to the right of the decimal in your problem. So I look at my problem. It is 1 5/10 times 2. Time to see how many numbers are to the right of the decimal. Okay, here we go. I have one number to the right of the decimal. There's no decimal down here, so I have one number to the right of the decimal. So then what I do, this is step 3, after you determine how many numbers are to the right of the decimal, you go to your product, your answer. You start on the right-hand side of all the numbers, and you count over however many digits there are numbers to the right of the decimal. For example, there's one number to the right of the decimal, so I'm going to count one number, and then put my dot, put my decimal. Or I could go like this, 1 over, put my decimal. So my answer is 3. I'm going to show you another problem using the algorithm way. So imagine I'm multiplying 5 times, let's make it 5/10. Let's make it a hard one. Times 1 3/10. So I now have 5/10 times 1 3/10. Wow, yes, you're multiplying 2 decimal numbers. 2 decimals, both numbers have decimals. That's okay, because it's easy. First step is multiply like a regular multiplication problem. Do not worry about the decimal. Do not worry about what? The decimal. Don't worry about it. Act like it's not even there. Don't even care about it. Don't even worry about it. So I go 5 times 3. Just like a regular multiplication problem. 5 times 3 is what? 15. Write the 5, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is what? 5 plus the 1 is 6. So I have 65. Now it's time for step 2. Step 2 is count all the numbers to the right of the decimal. Well, this number is to the right of the decimal because the decimal is right there. That's 1. And this number is to the right of the decimal because there's a decimal right there. So this is 2. So I have 2 numbers to the right of the decimal. Here's 1, here's 2. Both of them are to the right of the decimal. So now I go down to my answer, my product, and I count, starting from the right to the left, how many numbers there are to the right of the decimal. We know there's how many? 2. So I count 1, 2, and I put the decimal. Or you could say 1, 2, and then put the decimal. So my answer is 65/10. Now this is the same way when you do double-digit multiplication. When you multiply 2 digit by 2 digit, or 2 digit by 3 digit, you do the same thing. You do it like a regular multiplication problem until you get a product, until you get an answer, and then you go back and you count the decimals, the numbers that are to the right of the decimal, then you go through and you add the decimals. I hope this helped you. Remember, you can learn math. It's not complex. You just got to learn the simple concepts and you understand math. You all rock.